Hello and welcome to Unlocked, a new show focusing on all things about the West Wales Women and Girls League. We're delighted to have our next guest on the show, someone who is making great waves in the game, Port Talbot Town Ladies player Bethan McGowan. Welcome, Bethan.
Hi.
I'm saying Port Talbot Town Ladies, but is that still the case? As we hear you've got some exciting news coming up.
Yeah. So I've just joined Arsenal, just signed for Arsenal for next season.
That's fantastic. But that's exciting move for you for next season then.
Yeah, definitely. I'm nervous, but yeah, obviously I'm very excited.
Oh, definitely. Oh, well done. Congratulations on the move anyway.
Thank you.
Basically, the first thing we wanted to see was what's your earliest memory of playing in the league, and can you tell us a little bit about how you started and what it was like playing when you first started as well?
Yeah, so I started just playing in the kitchen with my dad, and I just fell in love with football and I just wanted to play 24/7. So he signed me up for Mumbles Rangers when I was about 6 or 7. So I joined them, and yeah, so I remember my first game, I remember coming on and I was just standing there like, wow, everyone is so good. So I started off with very low in confidence. I actually spent most of that season on the bench as a sub. And yeah, I didn't have a lot of confidence because I just didn't think I was as good as everyone else. But then as I got older, then I started gaining more confidence and I played a lot more games. But yeah, started off mostly as a sub.
Oh, wow, so that's very good information for a lot of the young girls starting out.
Yeah,
If at first you don't, doesn't come naturally, it's always good to persevere, isn't it? And just to show.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about obviously your journey? The team. Obviously, you said you started at Mumbles, and just a little bit about the teams you've played for and the experiences you've had. As you've had some great ones, I'm sure, along the way.
Yeah, so obviously I started playing for Mumbles at 6 or 7. Then a few years playing for them, our coach Mark put me forward for West Wales trials. So I was successful. I got into West Wales, and from there, our coach Andy Jones, he like really helped me with my confidence, and he put me forward for Wales trials, which obviously at the time I never even thought that far. I never thought I could get that far. So he actually changed me from a right winger to a centre mid. So yeah, he gave me a lot of belief in myself. And actually, the first time I trialled for Wales, I didn't get in. So that was a massive knock to my confidence, but it just made me more determined. So then the next set of trials, I was successful and got in. So I made my debut for Wales at 13 years old for the under-15s against Scotland. And then when I turned 14, I left Mumbles Rangers and I joined Pencroff Boys. So I joined, that was the under 15 side, and I joined them for a season. And again, the manager there, he was Charlo, he was so welcoming and he put me straight into the team. So I got a lot of games for them. And then I played a season with them. And after that, I joined Port Talbot Ladies when I was 15. So going into Port Talbot Ladies, I was so nervous because obviously I've come from an under-15s boys team, then to a team that played in the Welsh Prem adults. So yeah, so when I joined them, honestly, all the girls, all the coaches, Hayley and Mary, just made me feel part of the team from day one. So that helped me massively, just knowing the girls accepted me. And Hayley, our manager, put me straight into the team, and yeah, it was amazing. Like obviously at the start, it was crazy. Like I was just standing there alongside fully grown women, and I was so nervous. But after a few games, I just got more confident, and yeah, so I played a lot of games for them, which yeah, I can't thank them enough for developing me as a player because um, the women's game is a lot more physical, so it developed that different side of my game, which really helped. And so I did one season with them, and then I got into Arsenal Academy, which I'm going next season. So yeah.
Exciting times ahead then.
Yes.
Yes, one of the things obviously we're noting as a league, the numbers of girls playing now is going skyrocketing more and more every year, and it's obviously brilliant to see. In your experience, obviously, the teams you've played with, you play for Wales and Port Talbot as well. Have you seen the level of quality growing as you've got older, and just the numbers playing, as obviously more girls playing now?
Yeah, definitely. So when I first started for Mumbles, there were only 4 teams in our league, and we would go to the same pitch every week and just play each other once. So yeah, 4 teams. And then as I started getting older in the Mumbles age groups, more and more teams came in, and obviously then there were more girls playing, so it was harder to get into the starting team. But yeah, from when I started, 4 teams to now, I'm not sure how many there is now, but it's a lot more than 4. And then even for Wales, Jane Ludlow, the women's Wales manager, has done so much for Wales. She's made the training more serious, raised the standards, inspired loads of more girls to play football. She's made like a clear-cut pathway to the senior team, and she's put on training, really intense training, and she's done so much for the women's game in Wales. So yeah, it's just developed massively over the past couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to hear yourself, speaking of the times when they were only a couple of teams. Yeah. There's lots more teams. I think we've the numbers have surpassed every year. They keep rising, which is great, and hopefully people will feed more into that Welsh team, as you say. So with yourself, what's sort of been your best experience, I guess, because obviously you've played for all the Welsh teams and the various ages, and I'm sure you've been on plenty of places that are great experiences along the way. So what's been your sort of best experience?
Well, so last year in September, we went to the under-17 Euro qualifiers, and we qualified into the next round, which was meant to be in March, but obviously got cancelled because of this virus. But yeah, that was amazing qualifying. But also last year in April, for the under-15s, we went to Spain for the Bob Doherty tournament, and we came second. So we went to the finals. We lost on pens. We were the better side, but it went to penalties, and unfortunately we lost, which still hurts me to this day, so I find it hard talking about. But yeah, but also last year was quite busy, but in March I went to Austria for the under-17 elite round, which is the second round. So I was 2 years young, so I was playing with girls 2 years older than me, which was, again, it was nerve-wracking, but I think it really helped my confidence and experience. So when I went into September to Denmark, I was a lot more familiar, and yeah, really helped me. So yeah, I've been loads of places with Wales and had great experiences, so I'm so lucky. And yeah,
I think it's really refreshing. I think so. I'll see you, like you speak of how the nerves of obviously still play, even though you've played at such a high level, you still get nerves, and you still have those I guess self-doubt a little bit. And I think a lot of
definitely
those young children, I think they almost think, oh, the people who are on the higher level, they just naturally have already got there, and like as you said, there's been a journey, isn't it, to get there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So how, speaking on obviously on that, how have you found the different levels of the game? So obviously with playing at a 6, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, this sort of just fun football, turn up and have a game and have a laugh. And obviously something that we promoted, the West Wales Women's League and Girls League, is that up to under 10s and everything, is just to turn up and have a fun, and it's not so much the seriousness. But obviously, how have you found going from that, then obviously going into the West Wales Performance Centre and the Welsh squads, and just adapting to those different levels, I guess?
Yeah, so obviously, like, as you get higher and higher, it is harder. The standard of players is better. People are getting dropped, like from Wales. Some of my best mates have been dropped, and you would never see that in a club side like Mumbles. But I've honestly, like, from Mumbles, as I got higher and higher, I've found the football as fun, if not more fun. Like, my enjoyment has just kept on increasing as I go up and up. But mainly, you just got to give it your all and work hard, because if you just do as much individual training as you can, outside your clubs, you're going to be ready for that next level. You're not going to go into that next level being one of the weaker players. So yeah, so do as much individual training. You don't need all fancy equipment. Just a ball and a wall, just kick a ball against a wall. And honestly, that will develop you so much. So just believe in yourself and just do as much individual training, because that's what I did, and then I could progress to the next levels.
Brilliant. And that kind of leads on to my next question. Is obviously you put in the hard work to get to all that you have. And so, what's a typical week for yourself, like with training? I know obviously it might be a little bit different now, but as a general.
Yes. So obviously before lockdown, I would train with Wales on a Tuesday for 3 hours. Wednesday I would have one-on-one coaching. Thursday I would have Port Talbot training. Friday I would have Wales training again. Saturday I would go to a field with one of my mates, and we would just train, work on, you know, all our weaknesses, all our strengths. Sunday would be game day for Port Talbot, so that's when we would play all our fixtures. And then Monday, I think my mum just made me catch up on my schoolwork, because obviously I was balancing GCSEs with training all the time, which was difficult. But as soon as my mum said she'll take me out of football if I don't keep my grades up, I was always working when I wasn't playing football, because, you know, at the end of the day, put everything into your football, but also put everything into your education, because it's going to make life so much easier, and having an education is very important. So
yeah, definitely. I was going to ask, when do you have time to do your schoolwork? But great to know that your mother is still focusing, making sure you do that as well. So I guess obviously leading on from that, how have you found lockdown? Really, I guess is the next question. Have you been doing any sort of training, or obviously limited? But what's been your kind of lockdown routine?
Well, obviously I'm finding it hard not training, not playing matches, but I've actually been all right. Like, I've just made sure I'm keeping busy. So I'm training like 6 days a week, doing gym stuff like arm workouts, leg workouts. So I'm doing that like 4 times a week, doing my core workouts, doing fitness training, which is horrible in the hot weather, but it has to be done. So I've just been keeping sharp, so I'm ready to go back whenever football starts again, which fingers crossed is very soon. But I've just been making sure, you know, like now is really our time, that you've got all this time to invest in yourself. So you might as well make the most of it, you know, work on your weaknesses, work on your strengths. You've got all this time, just make sure this is your chance now to get ahead of other players. So I've been training non-stop, really.
We've seen a lot of, as a league, we've been seeing a lot of creative ways for people to keep engaged, and there've been sort of Zoom sessions and things like on WhatsApp or skill sessions and just quizzes and all sorts of things, just to keep everyone engaged. And one of the big phenomenons, I guess, is TikTok. Have you been part to a little bit of a TikTok dance?
Well, actually, I watch like all my friends do it and stuff, but I don't have my own account, which I probably should make my own videos. But no, I've just been watching other people, really. I haven't actually made any myself.
You'll have to get on the case, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So could you tell us a little bit about the Arsenal move? Obviously, that's very exciting for yourself, and and obviously must have been really exciting to have that come about. So how did it come about? What was just to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I wanted to just try for some English clubs, you know, just for experience, just to see if I could get in, really. So I only ended up doing the Arsenal trial, because the other ones all got cancelled because, you know, of this virus. So I tried for Arsenal. So I was so nervous, and I didn't actually hear back till 3 months later. So I had to wait a long time, but so they told me I got in, and I was just I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was over the moon. But it's crazy. But so it just started off, I just wanted to, you know, try out for some clubs, just to, you know, see if I could do it. And so I was successful. So I'm over the moon, really.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and it's really inspirational for a lot of our young girls, I think, in the league, to see that, just to see people doing so well. And I think, you know, obviously you haven't long come out with yourself, you know, with the age you're at, and to see how there are those opportunities, aren't they, for people who work hard. And
definitely.
Oh, brilliant. So just before we finish, I mean, the toilet roll keep you uppies, the challenges we're doing the rounds before. Did you do any at the start, and would you be willing to give it a go now and see if you can get on the leaderboard for our?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously the craze was in March, April, and I remember I was practicing for ages and ages. So haven't done it for a long time, but I'll give it a go.
There we are, great stuff. So yeah, well, we'll whenever you're ready, we'll.
Okay.
You could definitely see the competitiveness in you. Oh, thanks for that, Bethan, and I really appreciate you coming
It's
on,
all right.
taking some time to speak to us. And like I said, I know a lot of the young girls who are watching this will definitely be inspired by your new speak. And like I said, it's just great to speak to a former league player, someone who's started out with us, and in our league, and going on to better things. And hopefully, it'll be a long and successful career. And hope we definitely wish you all the best. The next chapter.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. Anyway.
No, but all the best. And again, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Cheers. Thank you, Bethan.